She traveled 1,500 miles with nothing but hope and a handful of letters, only to arrive and read 7 cruel words that broke her world. I married a local girl. Don't come. The stagecoach rattled to a stop in the middle of Redstone, Texas. Dust swirled around the wheels like angry smoke. Eleanor Price climbed down slowly, holding her small cloth bag tight against her chest. She was 28, tall for a woman, with steady green eyes and brown hair pinned up under a plain bonnet. Her dress, once pretty blue cotton, was now faded and covered in travel dirt. For months she had dreamed of this place. Marcus Holloway's letters had painted pictures of a cozy home, green fields, and a man who wanted her. She had left her small room in Boston, sold her mother's old silver locket, and bought the ticket with every last penny. At the post office, a thin man with glasses pushed a folded paper toward her. "This came for you, miss. From Mr. Holloway." Eleanor's fingers shook as she opened it. The words hit like a slap. "I married a local girl last week. Don't come. Marcus." She read it again, hoping the letters would change. They didn't. The clerk looked away. 2 women nearby whispered and giggled. Poor thing. Another one fooled by sweet words. A man in a cowboy hat laughed out loud. "Go back east, lady. Texas ain't kind to dreamers." Eleanor felt heat rise in her cheeks, but she refused to let tears fall. She folded the note, put it in her pocket, and walked out with her head high. She had no money for a hotel, no ticket home, and no husband waiting. But she had heard of an empty farm 5 miles out, the old Hallbrook place. People said it was falling apart, but it had land and a roof. That was enough. She walked the whole way under the burning sun. Her shoes rubbed blisters. Her bag grew heavier, but she kept moving. When she reached the farm, the sight almost made her turn back. The house was crooked, windows broken, porch sagging. Tall weeds choked the yard. A rusty pump stood in the corner, and a pile of old lumber lay rotting near the barn. Eleanor set her bag down. "This is mine now," she whispered. She found a hammer with a cracked handle in the barn and started work that same afternoon. She pulled weeds, swept dirt floors, and nailed loose boards over broken windows. Her soft hands blistered fast. By nightfall, blood stained the wood, but the first wall stood straighter. She slept on the hard floor with her coat as a blanket, listening to coyotes howl. Days blurred into hard labor. She hauled water from the pump, cooked thin soup over a small fire, and worked until her body ached. One morning, while trying to lift a heavy roof beam alone, her arms gave out. The beam crashed down, missing her by inches. That was when she heard hooves. A man rode up on a strong brown horse. He was broad-shouldered, about 35, with sun-lined skin, dark hair under a wide hat, and calm blue eyes. He stopped and watched her struggle. "You're gonna kill yourself doing it like that," he said in a low, steady voice. Eleanor straightened up, wiping sweat from her forehead. "I have no choice. This is my place now." He swung down from the saddle. "Name's Caleb Turner. I own the ranch 2 miles east. Seen smoke from your fire the last few nights. Thought I'd check if it was bandits or just a fool." "I'm no fool," she said quietly. "I'm Eleanor Price." Caleb looked at the crooked walls and shaky posts. "Mind if I help? This house will fall on your head in the first wind." She hesitated, then nodded. "I can't pay you." "Don't need pay. Just don't want to find a dead woman under rubble next week." For the next 3 days, Caleb worked beside her. He taught her how to notch logs properly, how to brace corners so they held weight, how to patch the roof with tin scraps. He was patient, never laughed at her mistakes. At the end of each day, they sat on the new porch steps. Eleanor gave him cold water. He brought bread and jerky from his saddlebag. One evening, as the sun turned the sky orange, Caleb said, "You're tougher than most men I know. Where'd you learn to keep going after a kick like that letter?" Eleanor stared at her bandaged hands. "I had nothing left back east. Coming here was my last chance. I won't let one man's lie take it away." Caleb nodded slowly. "Good. The world needs more like you." After the house was safe, 4 solid walls, a tight roof, and a small stove inside, Eleanor felt proud for the first time. Caleb came less often, but one day he rode up with a serious look. "My cook quit. My foreman can't keep books straight. The ranch is losing money, and the men are eating burnt beans every night. I need someone smart and steady. Will you come work for me? Good pay, your own room, and no one will bother you." Eleanor thought of her empty pantry and aching back. "I'll try it for a month," she said. At Turner Ranch, life was busy. 30 cowboys worked the land, herding cattle, mending fences, branding calves. Eleanor rose before dawn. She baked dozens of biscuits, fried bacon, boiled coffee strong enough to wake the dead. The men, rough and loud at first, soon praised her food. "Best grub in Texas, ma'am," they shouted. But Eleanor also asked for the account books. Pages were messy. Numbers didn't add up. Supplies cost too much, yet the storeroom was half empty. She worked late by lantern light, comparing receipts. One night, she found the pattern. "Caleb," she said softly in his office, "Frank, your supply man, is stealing. He writes down 10 sacks of flour but buys only 6. The extra money goes in his pocket." Caleb's jaw tightened. He checked quietly, then confronted Frank. The man confessed and left the next morning. Money stopped disappearing. Profits climbed. Eleanor's place grew. When a fierce storm rolled in, dark clouds, wild wind, lightning, she didn't hide in the kitchen. She pulled on a slicker and rode out with the men to move cattle to higher ground. Rain soaked her to the bone, but she tied ropes, saved a calf from drowning in a flash flood, and helped rebuild a washed-out bridge afterward. The cowboys stopped calling her City Lady. They called her Miss Eleanor, with respect. One cowboy, young James, was hot-headed. He fought, drank, and almost got fired twice. Eleanor sat him down one quiet evening. "James, I've seen men like you before, angry at the world, but anger only hurts you. You're strong. Use it right. Stay sober. Work honest. And in a year, you could be foreman." James stared at the floor. "No one ever gave me a chance before." "You have one now," she said. He changed. He stopped drinking, worked harder, and soon led small crews. Trouble came in the form of Jack Randall, a mean rancher from the next county. He wanted Turner land cheap. He sent threats, cut fences, scared workers. One dark night he rode in drunk, pistol in hand, shouting, "Sell or regret it." The men froze. Eleanor stepped out of the house, lamp in one hand, voice calm. "Jack Randall, lower that gun. 20 men saw you ride up armed. If you shoot, you hang. The sheriff knows your name already. Go home." Jack blinked, looked at the silent cowboys, then at Eleanor's unflinching eyes. He spat on the ground, turned his horse, and left. Word spread fast. No one crossed Turner Ranch after that. Caleb saw everything. Late one summer night, under a sky full of stars, he found Eleanor sitting on the porch of her old Hallbrook house, now neat and strong. "Eleanor," he said, sitting beside her, This ranch isn't the same without you. It's better, stronger. I want you to have 40% ownership. Papers are ready. And I want more than a partner. I want you as my wife, not from letters or pity, from everything we've built together. Eleanor's heart pounded. She looked at the man who had helped her when no one else did. Yes, Caleb. Yes. They married quietly in the ranch parlor. She wore her blue dress, cleaned and mended. The cowboys clapped and cheered. No fancy flowers, just real joy. But Marcus Holloway returned. He heard of her success and grew bitter. He sued her in town court, claiming she stole his money and broke promises. He lied smoothly to the judge. Eleanor stood alone at the table, calm. She showed every letter he sent, the cruel note, train tickets, witness statements from the post office. He sent me away. I built my life without him. The judge read the papers. Case dismissed. Mr. Holloway, you pay all costs and fees. Marcus slunk out, red-faced. Soon after, Eleanor's sharp mind helped uncover theft at the town bank, too. Clerks skimming funds. The town thanked her. Years went by. Turner Ranch became a model. Fair pay, shared profits, happy workers like family. Eleanor and Caleb had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who ran through the fields. She taught them to read, to work hard, to be kind. Sometimes Eleanor walked back to her first little house. The board she nailed with bleeding hands still stood firm. She touched the door frame and smiled. The hardest road, she often told her children, can lead to the best home. Thank you for writing along on this story. Drop your location and time one more time if you'd like. And if it touched you, send some stars, follow, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next tale,